Hey guys, so this is the last video of the night. This is all about making textual connections. And I did not make this PowerPoint. I just found it. It's a phenomenal PowerPoint though. So I'm gonna just walk you through it really quick, paraphrase really quick, and you are taking your notes really quick, okay? All right, so this is all about making connections with a text. And a lot of you are doing a pretty good job of this. So we have 4 different making connections to texts. It is text to text. So that is where if we are reading Harrison Bergeron, we can make a connection to, let's say, The Hunger Games or to Deathless Divide. Okay, so that's where we're taking a book and we're connecting it to another book or another short story. And then we have text to self. That's where we can take the text that we're reading, which is Harrison Bergeron, and we are making a connection with ourselves. So I can make a connection to, let's say, the ballerina because she's so graceful and I'm so graceful. There's some verbal irony there for you. And then we have text to world. So we can take Harrison Bergeron because that's just our text, and we can see how is it relating to our world right now. Well, we know it's relating to our world right now because we have a lot of people who are saying that we should all be equal, we should all be the same, and et cetera, et cetera. I'm gonna let you guys read the text so you can make that connection there. And then we have text to media. So media can be the radio, it can be music, it can be movies, it can be social media, it can be whatever is around us right now. And that is media. That's like social media. Okay. Let's see here. There we go. So connections allow us to better relate to the world around us, to other things that's going on, and helps us understand what the text is actually saying. And it helps us connect to our own life and experiences, forms of literature, society, and the world, film, theater, television, radio, and music. It brings out and enhances our critical thinking skills and how we are looking and comparing and contrasting and how some things are happening and what are maybe the effects of it. And it helps us to evaluate the text a little bit better when we are able to make those connections. It helps us cognitively. So if you are in science, think of the brain when we think of cognitive skills, and affective. Those are our affections. So affect is our root word there, our affections, so our emotions and how we are looking at things. You'll be involved, you'll be engaged, you'll be invested in reading because you'll be making those connections to the text with yourself and with other things that you enjoy. Manga, video games, you guys, video games, that's media. It also helps activate our schema, which is things that we have already read, things that we've already experienced, video games that we've already played, movies that we've already seen. It is that prior knowledge. Schema is our prior knowledge. Is what is it we already know. So I did a video on the KWL. This goes in what we already know. Text connections. I just talked about that is other texts. It is helping us build our base of knowledge, our foundations to better understand and connect with the books. Cognition. So think back to your brain and how your brain is sculptured and structured, and how we are thinking throughout while we are reading. This is just our affections. I'm not going to go over much there. So this is where I really want you to make sure that you are writing this down, okay? So please make sure that you are writing this down. So our prior knowledge helps us make a triangle, okay? And that triangle where our text is in the middle of it helps improve our comprehension. And that's what I really, really want you guys to get. I want you to improve the comprehension. And the only way that we can really, truly do this is by activating what you already know. Think about the video games that you guys are playing. Think about movies that you've already seen. Think about our world around us. Think about what is happening in the news today when you start reading Harrison Bergeron. Okay? We've already gone over this. This is just written down in word format for you. So pause here. Make sure you have this written down. There it is again. You could doodle this if you want to. It's the same thing as this right here, except in doodle form. Okay. This is text to self. Again, it's just reiterating what I've already said. Text to text. Again, it is reiterating what I've already said. I do want you to write down fiction and nonfiction, the fable, tall tale, legend, myth, science fiction, nonfiction information, magazine articles, news stories, interviews. Make sure that you are writing that down. I also want you to make sure that you are writing this where it says effective readers think within the text, beyond the text, about the text. You need to be writing this down. Okay. Please make sure that you have taken your notes. Your notes will be graded this time. This is an important concept that I want you to make sure that you are writing down and that you're getting, because when we get into our dystopian unit, I want you to be making sure that you're comprehending what the text is actually saying. Okay. And one way to do that is by making these connections, specifically our text to text and text to media and text to world. Because what you will be reading is important. Okay. So for now, that's the last video of the night, and I will see you bright and early.
Mommy, that was a long